Okay, so it looks like we have some more Death Stranding news, the new upcoming title by Hideo Kojima himself. Now, we're basically going to talk about the gameplay and what we can expect from the overall story, including some of its cast members, so let's dive into it. On an article posted by digitaltrends.com, it was stated that Hideo Kojima himself spoke out saying that the game will be an open-world action game with a lot of freedom. Kojima was also asked what the strands mean in Death Stranding and stated that the strands will be an important and distinguishing part of the game. He states that in most games, the player has guns and plays against enemies and can also take it live to compete with other players. However, while you can do that in the game, he wants to bring something beyond that and focus on the connection of the strand concept. Now, if you remember by the end of the Death Stranding announcement trailer, we can see kind of like strands connecting with the whales in the background, and I think there is a reason for this. A pretty interesting story referring to Death Strand's gameplay is that Kojima takes inspiration from a novella called Rope, published by Japanese author Kobe Abe, or Kobe Ab. Kojima stated, in the story, Ab said that the first tools mankind learned to use were sticks and ropes. Sticks could be used to keep threats out of distance, while ropes could secure things people cherished. Kojima states that most players are armed with sticks, such as guns and equipment, allowing them to fight enemies and other players. But he wants his game to involve ropes, bringing players together somehow. Each and every character or each and every object, each and every animal connects in some way. Kojima posted on Twitter saying, "The stick helped man to keep distance from threats. The stick helped ape evolve into man. On the other hand, the rope helps us capture and bind things important to us." Kojima also stated on Twitter, "Stick and rope are very two important keywords. You will be using the stick in our new game, but that is not all. How will you be able to use the rope to connect people worldwide? Will you be able to use both tools? The game will have you playing with tools and think about these points." So it's kind of like a decision-making game, at least from what it sounds like. Now, at least from what it sounds like is that the stick is technically going to be our weapons of choice. We don't really know what these weapons will be, but it is to arm ourselves in our survivability, I'm assuming, in the game. Now, when it comes to the whole rope aspect, I am not really sure what this could possibly be as far as arming our main character with. For all we know, this could be some sort of loss of reality from the game, into which our player has to try to connect things closest to him, or all things in general, that will maybe heal the earth. I really don't know, because from what it seems like in the trailer, it seems like the earth has completely gone corrupted. There is destruction. Things are dying, and it's up to our main player in order to bring life back to these things, or bring life back to the connection of the world. At least that's from my speculation. But just take that with a grain of salt, because honestly, I have no idea what this game will possibly be. I mean, everything is kind of up in the air already. There's really not too much clarification as to really what this game's potential will be and what exactly will be in the game. We haven't seen much gameplay. We've only seen basically announcement trailers showing us subliminal messages within the game and the themes that will be introduced. And it's kind of abstract. We really don't know a whole lot about the game, so we really won't know anything until E3 2017, but I mean, this is just something that I'm going to take into consideration, but we'll see. What's also pretty cool about this engine is that the engine that will be used is by the same studio, Guerrilla Games, used for Horizon Zero Dawn, and Kojima himself actually praised this game and said, usually when you go to use, buy, or borrow an engine, someone will say, lend us your name, or, of course, ask for payment. But apparently, Guerrilla Games themselves sent Kojima a USB port of basically the engine itself, and said, yeah, here you go, you can use it. So that's honestly pretty cool. So it's going to be on the same engine as Horizon Zero Dawn that Guerrilla Games used, and I can tell you so much that this is going to be sick and graphically awesome. Now, when it comes to multiplayer, Kojima himself stated, Death Stranding will feature a new form of co-op play, but will of course be playable in single player. So honestly, we don't really know if Kojima is planning on doing live multiplayer or not, but he did state in fact that there will be co-op play in the game, which is pretty cool. As far as the cast goes, we really don't know exactly who the main cast of characters will be, at least the important ones, but we have gotten clarification as to who some of the characters will be represented in the game, which 3 of them we can take into consideration, which is Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead, who from his most notable character, Daryl, and we also have Mads Mikkelsen from his acting in the Hannibal TV series. And film director Guillermo del Toro has also made an appearance in the game as well. Now, Del Toro's exact role in the game isn't exactly clear from what we've seen in the trailer, but Mikkelsen seems to appear as the antagonist of the series, as he commands a skeleton army connecting to him via several umbilical cords. Now, here's a picture of Kevin Durand meeting up with Kojima. Durand was in this FX horror TV series, The Strain, that aired in July of last year. Now, from what we see in this picture, we can either take into consideration these two giving off each other inspiration for their, coming titles, stuff that they are working on, or maybe Hideo Kojima himself has plans to incorporate Kevin Durand's character within the game. But we really don't know. We really don't know if they are talking about inspiration on how these, how the game can be more eerie, more, invigorating to the player, or maybe if either Hideo Kojima himself wants to incorporate Kevin Durand's character into some way. We don't really know. Also, regarding one of the other casting members of Death Stranding, apparently Hideo Kojima stated that he is looking for a heroine, or at least he's planning to have a heroine within the game, but he is wondering who should play as her. So, this was posted in 2016 of September, so maybe by this point he already has a clear idea as to who this character will be, but, it's something that is pretty interesting, a heroine in Death Stranding, so there will be a main character and a heroine as well. So it looks like maybe the player has an option between to pick either a female character or even a male protagonist. Now, as far as the release date goes, we do know that this will be a PlayStation game, maybe a PlayStation exclusive. We're not entirely sure yet because we don't really know if it will be available on other consoles, but he did say when at a Tokyo 2016 game show, Kojima said that the game will be ready before the Tokyo Olympics, which takes place in 2020, and also before the new Akira movie, which is from the classic anime film, which was set in 2019. By the way, you should definitely check that shit out because it is awesome. But Kojima seems to think that the game will possibly be coming out in 2018. On an article posted by IGN, Death Stranding apparently will not be as dark as we think, and Death Stranding is not a horror game that Kojima actually wants to make this game out to be. While it does seem as eerie from the trailers we have seen, apparently this game will not be as dark as we think, but I guess to a certain extent it will be eerie, just not as complex as from what we see in the trailers. So yeah, I think that's really it for the overall news regarding Death Stranding, the new upcoming game by Hideo Kojima himself. I really do not know when exactly we will be getting more info on this, or even when we can see gameplay for that matter, but maybe if Hideo Kojima actually appears in E3 of 2017 in June, then, we'll get more information on that, and hopefully we can actually see some gameplay in order to gather more resources on what exactly this game will play like, and more on what it is about. So yeah, guys, that about does it for this video. Be sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below as to what you feel on what Death Stranding could possibly be like as far as a game. What do you really expect out of this game? Do you think it will be good? Do you think it will be bad? Do you think it's really complex? Just, I don't know. Let me know your overall thoughts in the comments down below. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that red subscribe button down below if you don't want to miss any other videos like this one, because I will be posting news, reviews, discussions, as well as tips and tricks, and pretty much anything else that I can think of that you guys will enjoy. So, that about does it for this video, guys. I'm Mairuzu, and I am signing out.